politics and Ivy got tales to share. Life in general, we go everywhere. From politics to soul repair. Tune in now, we got time to spare.
Okay, so get this. The AI world gets turned upside down.
Okay.
But not by like some Silicon Valley giant this time.
Right.
By a research lab in China.
Wow.
They just built an AI that rivals OpenAI's best stuff.
Really?
In just 2 months.
2 months?
And for less than the cost of a Hollywood blockbuster.
Jeez.
I mean, it's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, total David versus Goliath situation, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
While Google and OpenAI have been pouring billions of dollars in years into AI research,
Yeah.
this Chinese team comes out of nowhere with DeepSeek R1
Yeah.
and achieves comparable results for a fraction of the cost and time.
It's unbelievable. You're listening to The Deep Dive, and today we are going deep on DeepSeek R1.
All right, let's do it.
We've got 2 great sources.
Okay.
One's a technical breakdown of DeepSeek R1's abilities, and the other is a geopolitical analysis,
Interesting.
which adds like a whole other layer of intrigue to this.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're going to unpack how this thing works, what it means for the future of AI, and maybe even global power dynamics.
All right, so what makes DeepSeek R1 so fascinating
Yeah.
is that it really challenges our assumptions about what it takes to build cutting-edge AI. This isn't just about some new model.
Right.
It's about a potential shift in the balance of power in the tech world.
Exactly. And it's not like they just cobbled together like a simple little chatbot.
Right.
DeepSeek R1 can like tackle complex math problems,
Wow.
write code,
Really?
and even reason through scientific concepts,
Yeah.
all with an accuracy that rivals the big players like Google and OpenAI.
That's impressive. So how do they do it?
Yeah, how'd they pull this off? What's under the hood?
Well, one of the key innovations is this thing called chain of thought prompting.
Chain of thought prompting.
Yeah. So instead of just feeding the model data and hoping to the best,
Right.
they've actually found a way to make the AI think out loud.
Think out loud.
Yeah, almost like watching someone solve a Rubik's Cube while explaining every twist and turn.
So it's not just about getting the right answer. It's about understanding how the AI gets there.
Exactly.
Interesting. And that actually improves accuracy.
It does. By making the AI's thought process transparent,
Mm-hmm.
developers can actually identify flaws in its logic
Okay.
and kind of nudge it towards better
Oh,
solutions.
so they can like correct it as it's going.
Yeah, it's like having a window into the AI's mind.
That's incredible. You know, it makes you wonder if maybe we've been going about AI training all wrong this whole time.
It really does make you think.
Yeah. So what else makes DeepSeek R1 different?
So another big thing is their approach to reinforcement learning.
Okay.
It's pretty radical, actually.
Yeah.
Instead of like force-feeding the AI pre-digested answers,
Right.
they actually let it learn through trial and error.
Trial and error.
Yeah. Like imagine giving a kid a set of building blocks
Yeah.
and letting them figure out how to build a castle.
Oh, so instead of just memorizing stuff, it's more about like actual learning and problem solving.
Exactly, fostering those skills.
Okay.
And here's the kicker.
Yeah.
In some cases, DeepSeek R1 trained with this method actually surpassed the accuracy of models like OpenAI's.
Really?
Yeah. Which were trained using more traditional methods.
Wow. So are we talking like across the board here, or are there specific tasks where it really excelled?
Well, that's a good question, and it's still early days.
Okay.
But the fact that DeepSeek R1,
Yeah.
with these unconventional training methods,
Right.
is achieving these kinds of results,
Yeah.
it definitely raises some eyebrows.
Yeah, I bet.
And it challenges a lot of the assumptions in the AI community.
For sure. Okay, last but not least, there's this model distillation thing.
Right.
Is that kind of like creating a SparkNotes version of a giant textbook?
That's a great analogy.
So it's making this powerful AI more accessible.
Exactly. So DeepSeek R1 in its full form is massive.
Okay.
671 billion parameters.
671 billion.
To put that into perspective, OpenAI's GPT-3, which was considered groundbreaking at the time,
Yeah.
at 175 billion. So they've managed to distill this massive model down to a more manageable size
Okay.
while still maintaining impressive performance.
That's amazing. And you're telling me sometimes the student model even outperforms the teacher model.
It's currently,
Like the student surpassing the master. What's going on there?
well, it really highlights how incredibly complex these AI systems are.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still unraveling the mysteries of how they learn and generalize information.
Right.
It's possible that the distillation process
Yeah.
forces the model to focus on the most essential information,
Okay.
which then leads to these surprising improvements in efficiency and accuracy.
So it's kind of like refining a raw diamond.
Yeah.
You're cutting away the excess to reveal like the true brilliance beneath.
Exactly.
So this all sounds incredibly groundbreaking.
It is.
But there's another layer to the story that I think is equally fascinating.
Okay.
The timing of DeepSeek R1's release.
Right.
Why now?
Well, this is where the geopolitical analysis comes in. DeepSeek R1 wasn't just released on any random Tuesday.
Right.
It was unveiled on January 20th, 2025,
Okay.
the very same day that Donald Trump returned to the White House for his second term.
Wow. Talk about making an entrance.
Right.
It seems like China is sending a very deliberate message here.
You have to think about the context.
Yeah.
Remember, the U.S. had imposed a bunch of sanctions on China.
Right. To curb their technological advancement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Specifically targeting its access to advanced technology.
So dropping this bombshell AI
Yeah.
on that particular day
Mhm.
is a pretty bold way of saying, hey, we're not slowing down.
It could definitely be interpreted that way.
Yeah.
It challenges the whole narrative of U.S. dominance in the tech world,
Right.
and it highlights China's determination to push forward despite those restrictions.
It's almost like they're saying, you tried to hold us back, but look at what we achieved anyway.
Exactly. It directly
Yeah.
contradicts what a lot of people were saying just a year ago.
Yeah.
Like in 2024, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt was super confident about the U.S. lead in AI.
Right. He said it would take China an eternity to catch up.
Yeah, something like that. And now he's reportedly shocked by how quickly China's progressed.
I bet DeepSeek R1 is a serious wake-up call.
It is.
Not just for Silicon Valley, but for anyone who underestimated China's ambitions in tech.
It's a powerful reminder that the landscape can shift dramatically
Yeah.
and that assumptions about technological superiority
Right.
can be overturned really quickly.
For sure.
I mean, DeepSeek R1's arrival has sent ripples through the global tech community, and it's forcing everyone to reassess their strategies.
So we've got this David versus Goliath story, groundbreaking technology, and a healthy dose of geopolitical intrigue.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack.
What does DeepSeek R1 mean for the future, though?
That's the big question.
Is this the beginning of like a new era in AI?
Maybe.
A multipolar world where power isn't concentrated in just a few hands?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And I think we need to delve deeper into that in the next part of our deep dive.
All right. Sounds good.
We'll explore the potential consequences of an AI arms race,
Okay.
the ethical considerations, and the possibilities for collaboration even amidst this competition.
Stay with us.
We'll be right back.
After a quick break.
Yeah.
So before the break, we were talking about DeepSeek R1 and how it's really like shaking up the AI world.
It's a game changer for sure.
One thing that really stuck with me is like how it challenges the dominance of these big companies
Right.
like OpenAI and Google.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge development.
Yeah.
DeepSeek R1 basically shows us that you don't need like $1 billion budget
Right.
and a massive team of engineers to develop a really capable AI.
So does this mean we could see like university labs or startups or even just individual researchers
Yeah,
making like big contributions to AI now?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it has the potential to really democratize AI development,
Okay.
open the doors for smaller players to enter the field.
That's exciting. But wouldn't the big players just try to like gobble up all the promising startups?
Oh, for sure. That's definitely a possibility.
Right.
But DeepSeek R1 shows us that the barrier to entry is lower than we thought.
Okay.
Even if a startup gets acquired, the knowledge and techniques they develop,
Yeah.
they can still spread and inspire others.
Right. It's like once it's out there, it's out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about like a university research lab,
Okay.
maybe in a developing country,
Mm-hmm.
with access to DeepSeek R1's open source components
Right.
and all the knowledge it represents.
Yeah.
They could basically leapfrog years of research and development.
Wow.
Contribute to a more diverse and vibrant global AI ecosystem.
That's a really cool thought. I mean, it's not just about who's building the AI anymore.
Yeah.
It's about who has access to it and how they use it.
Exactly.
This could be a game changer for countries that have traditionally been left out of like the tech revolution.
Absolutely. It really levels the playing field in a way that we haven't seen before.
But this shift also comes with some challenges, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You mentioned an AI arms race earlier.
Right.
Like, what are the potential consequences of that?
Well, if both the U.S. and China view AI supremacy as essential for their national security
Yeah.
and economic dominance,
Right.
we could see a really rapid escalation in AI development,
Okay.
with each country pouring tons of resources into creating more and more powerful systems.
And that could lead to like a less stable and less cooperative global environment.
Potentially.
It's like
Yeah.
we're back in the Cold War, but instead of nuclear weapons, we're stockpiling algorithms.
It's a good analogy.
It's kind of unsettling.
And just like with nuclear weapons,
Yeah,
there's always a risk of unintended consequences.
right.
We need to think about the potential for misuse, for AI systems to be used for bad things, whether it's by governments or individuals.
So it's not just about who has the most powerful AI, it's about how that AI is controlled and regulated. Yes, exactly. We need to develop international norms and regulations
Okay.
to make sure that AI is developed and deployed responsibly.
This is a global challenge that requires like global solutions, right?
Absolutely.
So what would those solutions look like?
Well, one possibility is international treaties or agreements.
Okay, like similar to what we have for nuclear weapons.
Yeah, exactly. We could see agreements that address things like data privacy, algorithmic bias,
Yeah.
and the use of AI in the military.
So these agreements could establish guidelines for ethical AI research and development.
Right. Promote transparency and accountability.
Okay, so treaties and regulations are part of the solution.
Yeah,
But even with those in place, there's still going to be competition, right?
absolutely.
I mean, both the US and China are going to want to be the leader in AI.
For sure.
So is there a way to balance that competition with cooperation?
It's definitely a tricky balance.
Yeah.
But it's not impossible.
Okay.
Think about the International Space Station.
It's a perfect example of how different countries can actually collaborate
Yeah.
on really ambitious projects.
And when there's like geopolitical tension.
Exactly.
So maybe we could find similar models for cooperation in AI,
Yeah, for sure.
like joint research projects where scientists from both countries work together
Right.
to solve common challenges.
Exactly. There's so much potential for collaboration,
Yeah.
particularly in areas like climate change,
Okay.
healthcare, and education. AI could be such a powerful tool for addressing these issues.
Right.
But it's going to require a real effort
Yeah.
from the international community.
To make sure it's used for good.
Exactly.
It's almost like we need to find a way to cooperate and compete at the same time.
Yeah.
Recognize that we have a shared interest in using AI for good, even as we try to push the boundaries of innovation.
Right. It's complicated.
It's a tough challenge,
It is.
but one that we can't ignore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The stakes are way too high. The choices we make now will shape the future of AI and how it impacts our lives.
We've covered a lot of ground here,
Yeah, we have.
from the technical stuff about DeepSeek R1
Great.
to the geopolitical implications and the need for international cooperation.
For sure.
So what's the key takeaway you want to leave our listeners with?
Well, I think DeepSeek R1 is a wake-up call.
Okay.
It shows us that the AI landscape is changing super fast.
Yeah.
And all those assumptions we had about technological dominance, they can be overturned really quickly.
Right.
We need to be aware of both the benefits and the risks of AI.
Yeah.
And we need to start having some serious conversations
Okay.
about how we want to shape its future.
It's a call to action for all of us.
It is.
We can't just sit back and watch AI evolve.
Right.
We need to be active in shaping where it goes.
Absolutely.
But before we get ahead of ourselves,
Okay.
let's bring it back to DeepSeek R1.
Right.
And what it means for the global AI race. Yeah. Is this a sign that China is winning? Is the U.S. falling behind?
Good question.
Or is it more complicated than that?
I think it probably is.
We'll tackle those questions in the final part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
Stay with us. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into DeepSeek R1.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the technology, the potential for a more diverse AI landscape, even touched on the possibility of like an AI arms race.
Right.
So let's get to the big question I think everyone's asking.
Okay.
Is China winning the AI race?
Well, it's easy to want to see this as like a simple win or lose situation.
Right.
But it's much more nuanced than that.
Okay.
DeepSeek R1 is obviously a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
It definitely shifts the balance of power in the AI world,
Okay.
but the race is far from over.
So it's not as simple as saying like China's ahead or the U.S. is falling behind.
Yeah, would at all.
It's more like a marathon
Yeah.
with a lot of twists and turns still to come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Both the U.S. and China have their own strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
The U.S. still has a strong foundation in AI research,
Yeah.
a really dynamic startup ecosystem, and access to tons of resources.
And we can't forget about the brain power.
Right?
You mentioned earlier that almost half of the world's top AI researchers
Yeah.
were born or educated in China.
That's right. It's a huge pool of talent.
That's incredible.
And on top of that, the Chinese government is investing heavily in AI development.
Oh, so they're really prioritizing this.
Absolutely. They see it as a key driver of economic growth
Okay.
and national prestige.
So DeepSeek R1 is a big achievement,
Yeah,
but it's really just one piece of the puzzle.
it is.
What we're seeing is like a global shift in the AI landscape, with China emerging as a major force.
Exactly. And that shift has some serious implications for the global economy,
Okay.
international relations, and the future of technology itself.
It's like we're entering a new era.
I think so.
A multipolar world where innovation isn't just concentrated
Right.
in a few countries or companies.
I think that's a great way to put it.
What does that mean for the rest of us, though?
Well, this new era comes with both opportunities and challenges.
Okay.
We have the potential to use AI
Right.
to solve some of the world's biggest problems.
Yeah.
But we also need to be very aware of the risks.
Right.
Things like job displacement
Yeah.
and the potential for AI to be used for harmful purposes.
Which brings us back to the need for international cooperation.
Absolutely.
Even with all this competition,
Yeah,
we need to find ways to work together.
right.
Establish shared norms and guidelines for responsible AI development.
I couldn't agree more. The challenges posed by AI are global,
Yeah.
and they need global solutions.
We can't solve this alone.
Nope, not at all.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into DeepSeek R1, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this?
Well, if DeepSeek R1 is this advanced already,
Yeah.
imagine what the future holds.
It's hard to even fathom.
The pace of AI development is just accelerating.
Yeah.
The next 10 years are going to be wild.
A period of huge transformation.
Absolutely. We need to be prepared for a future
Okay.
where AI plays a bigger and bigger role in our lives.
Right. And we need to start thinking now
Yeah,
about how we want to shape that future.
that's the key.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
But also a little daunting.
It is.
It's like we're standing at the edge of a new frontier with all the possibilities and uncertainties that come with that.
Right.
And DeepSeek R1 shows us that we're not alone in this journey.
For sure.
The future of AI
Yeah.
is being shaped by people all over the world.
That's what makes it so fascinating.
It's a story that's still being written,
It is.
and we're all a part of it.
Yeah.
We've only scratched the surface here.
Right.
But hopefully this deep dive has given you a better understanding of DeepSeek R1, its implications for the AI race,
For sure.
and what it all means for the future.
If you're interested in learning more,
Yeah.
check out the links in the episode description.
We've got links to all the source material.
There's so much more to explore.
And who knows what breakthroughs are just around the corner.
Right.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of DeepSeek R1.
It was a pleasure.
Until next time,
Yeah.
keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.
Alex and Ivy got tales to share. Life in general, we go everywhere. From politics to soul repair. Tune in now, we got time to spare.